What if the most important years of history were never recorded? No miracles, no crowds, no headlines, just silence. And inside that silence, something powerful was growing. This is the mystery of the lost years of Jesus Christ. After the moment in the temple at age 12, everything goes quiet. No dramatic stories, no detailed records, no clear timeline. From age 13 to 30, it's almost as if history paused. But did it really? Or was something deeper happening behind the scenes? Let's go back to Nazareth, a small, overlooked village. No fame, no attention, just ordinary life. And this is where Jesus returned after that temple moment. Imagine being 13 years old, knowing there's something different about you. Not fully understanding it, but feeling it. A sense of purpose, a quiet awareness. But instead of stepping into the spotlight, Jesus stepped into normal life. He lived with Mary and Joseph. He worked, he learned, he obeyed. No shortcuts. Joseph, being a carpenter, passed on his skills. Wood, tools, patience. Day after day, year after year. Jesus didn't avoid hard work. He embraced it. Think about that. The one who would later speak to thousands spent nearly 2 decades in silence. Why? Because growth doesn't always happen in public. Sometimes, the most important development happens in private. The lost years weren't empty. They were full of preparation. Jesus would wake up like everyone else, work like everyone else, eat, rest, live like everyone else. No special treatment, no public recognition. And that's what makes this part of the story so powerful. Because we live in a world that wants fast results, instant success, instant recognition. But Jesus waited years, not because he had nothing to do, but because timing matters. Some people believe that during these years, Jesus may have traveled. Some say he went to other regions, even as far as India or Egypt. But there's no solid historical evidence for that. These ideas are theories, stories built on curiosity. What we do know is simple. He stayed grounded, he lived quietly, he grew, and sometimes the simple truth is the most powerful one. Imagine the patience it takes to know you have a purpose, but still wait. Year after year, nothing visible happens. No one calling your name, no one recognizing your potential. But inside, everything is changing. Jesus was learning more than carpentry. He was learning life. He saw people's struggles, their path, understood what it meant to be human. And that matters, because later, when he would speak to people, he wouldn't speak from distance. He would speak from experience. That's what the lost years built. Understanding, compassion, connection. He wasn't preparing just for miracles. He was preparing for people. And that preparation couldn't be rushed. Think about it. If Jesus had started his public life earlier, would people have understood him? Would they have been ready? Sometimes, it's not just about your readiness. It's about the world's readiness too. At age 30, everything changed. The silence ended. The hidden years were over. And suddenly, the same man who lived quietly in Nazareth stepped into the public eye, teaching, helping, transforming lives. And the impact? Unstoppable. But here's the truth most people miss. That impact was built in silence. The years no one talks about made everything else possible. So why are they called the lost years? Because history didn't record them in detail. But that doesn't mean they were meaningless. In fact, they might be the most relatable part of the story, because not everyone lives in big moments. Most of us live in the in-between, the waiting phase, the growing phase, the unseen phase. And that's exactly where Jesus spent most of his life. So if you feel like your life is slow, if nothing big is happening, if no one is noticing your efforts, remember this: even the most impactful life in history spent years in silence. The lost years weren't wasted. They were necessary. Because purpose isn't just about action. It's about preparation. And preparation takes time. So what really happened between ages 13 and 30? No miracles, no fame, just growth. And sometimes, that's the greatest miracle of all. Because when the time came, everything that was built in silence spoke louder than anything the world had ever seen.